Have you gotten your Christmas gifts yet? Because if not, there's only 5 days left. And if you're like me, you're running a little bit behind. Christmas snuck up on us. But if you're looking for Christmas gifts in the last minute crunch, stay tuned, watch this video. Because in this video, I'm going to show you the top 4 gifts to get last minute for under 20 bucks. And since I am the MCM Hunter, I'm going to have a little vintage twist to it. Now, if you're anything like me, you kind of don't want to break the budget buying these gifts. You want to get something nice, but you don't want to break the budget. And in this video, I am going to show you 4 gifts and the locations to get those gifts to help you save Christmas this year. But first, please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the post notifications. Let's go. And also, before I forget, you have to watch the entire video. I'm showing you 4 amazing gift ideas, and I would not want you to miss out on all these gift ideas. So please watch the entire video. But without further ado, ×2, let's go. For the first gift, under 20 bucks, what you need to get is vintage glassware. Trust me, this is something you can find still at the last minute for under 20 bucks. And let me tell you how. Number 1, couple things to look for. 3 brands: Pyrex, Corningware, and Anchor Hocking. Those are great brands, great value, and you can still find those in several places. The places to look: 1, antique stores. They're going to be discounts because we're so close to Christmas, so just look at all your local antique stores. 2, estate sales. You may look at me and say, hey, estate sales are going on, but please Google estate sales near me. There are estate sales who bumped up from this weekend to this week just so they can sell before the weekend. And 3, thrift stores. Now, don't judge me. I know you're like, thrift stores for a Christmas gift? Who are you? But trust me, you can find some cool items around Christmas time in the thrift stores, especially that Pyrex, Anchor Hocking, and Corningware that can serve some super value to your Christmas gift this year. Now, you may think, will people want this? And yes, they will. As you can see, going forward through, the development of reconstruction of houses, people are getting these open shelves, and they're getting Chinaware, and they're getting hutches, and they need something to display. And here comes you swooping in, giving them this cool, amazing vintage glassware that they can display on their open shelves, on their China hutches, whatever they want to display it. It's something cool. And a little caveat about this, as we come in closer, it's less than 20 bucks. If you go to any of these stores, you can get a cut set for less than 20 bucks. You can get something like a plate for $1. You can get a glass bowl for $1, $2. And if you go to any 3 of those locations I told you, I guarantee you'll be able to find it. But I am not done, so please stay tuned. The second gift item that you can buy for less than 20 bucks for a late Christmas gift is vintage t-shirts. I'm telling you, people enjoy vintage tees because that is a big craze. Instead of buying new, the new screen print, they like the vintage feel. And trust me, you can get these vintage tees for less than 20 bucks. For instance, I have one here. This cool Harley Davidson vintage tee. I picked that up at the thrift store for $4.99. I wear it all the time. You may see it in some of my videos and thumbnail. But I found this at a thrift store for less than 5 bucks. And if you continue to go to thrift stores, antique stores, and estate sales last minute, trust me, you'll be able to find that for less than 20 bucks. And there's a cool vibe to it. And who doesn't like cool vibes? Especially when you're into the vintage scene. Now, tips for finding these t-shirts for cheap. Number 1, go now. You got to go to the thrift stores. You got to look. You got to look during the middle of the day. 2, you got to go to antique stores. You just got to go out there and find them. They are out there. And like I said, antique stores and thrift stores, they're going to be a little bit percentage off because we are so close to Christmas. We are so close to the end of the year. People have to make their books. And so they're going to have discounts. So please, my tip for you in finding those vintage t-shirts is be active. Go look. If you don't find any one, go to another. Trust me, they're out there for less than 20 bucks. So now that I've showed you gift item 1 and 2, stay tuned for gift item number 3, which happens to be vintage coffee books. Trust me, this may be something that you didn't think of at first, but you're like, Everyone has a coffee table, right? Or some sort of table to set something on. And everyone needs some sort of book for design. So how about you get them a cool vintage coffee book from some of these locations that I mentioned earlier. And there you go. Less than 20 bucks, you're good to go. For instance, I picked up this Norman Rockwell coffee table book, cool pictures. Got that in an estate sale for less than $5. I am trying to give you some tips and tools to help you out for this Christmas. But you can find those still, thrift stores, antique stores, estate sales in the wild for less than 20 bucks. And especially if you get some cool artists or cool abstract or cool whatever the person's into. It might be design, clothing. If you can find that out there, that is a perfect gift idea. And even better, you won't break the bank. Trust me, Christmas is all about the giving spirit, and if you give something close to your heart that they will like without breaking the bank, it's a win-win-win, right? Now, those 3 previous gifts can be given to anybody, but this last one can be given to not only anybody, but it can be given to collectors as well as kids. And the last gift that I am suggesting for my vintage fans for under 20 bucks, last minute for Christmas, is vintage toys. Now, trust me, you're like, vintage toys, who wants to have that? But there are tons of collectors, and if you know you're special, someone is a collector, for instance, of Star Wars, perfect gift. So I've seen these vintage toys in the wild, and a tip for buying vintage toys is, number 1, go to your antique store, they're in there, and 2, get a toy in the package. Trust me, it will hold so much value, more value in the future, and it looks better in my opinion. Now, I know for a fact, I have seen these out in the wild. In the wild, I say out in the world for less than 20 bucks. And there's something cool about vintage toys that the other items don't really, have, is that these vintage toys can appreciate in value. Just last year, I found this vintage Star Wars toy. I think it was a Defender or I can't think of who it was, but I found it in an antique store for 12 bucks. I look back right now, it's going for 55. So I know this isn't about making money, but if you want to present someone a toy and say, hey, look, I know you're collectible, I know you're into toys, but this also will appreciate in the future. So win-win, right? Now you can give this gift to not only collectors, not only adults, but you also can give it to children to play with. I mean, this is a multi-purpose, multifaceted gift that you give to several people. As we get close to Christmas, I know we're only 5 days away. I just gave you some good tips to get good gifts for last minute shoppers that are under 20 bucks, which were vintage toys, vintage coffee table books, vintage glassware, and then lastly, vintage t-shirts. But if you're looking out there, just number one, remember, Christmas is not all about the gifts, but it's about the love, the family, and the enjoyment. And number 2, if you're interested on some locations of where to get this, I mentioned it briefly, but some locations on where to get these items, check out this video right here. I basically give you the best, I think it's 3 places to find all of these items for last minute Christmas shoppers. But unfortunately, this is the end of the video. If you can, please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, turn on post notifications. And like always, peace.